Okay, ladies and gents, welcome to Flying Pig United. We are joined by three superstars. I repeat, three superstars, and myself, Flying Bison. We are joined by Griffo. How's it going, Griffo?
It's going good, Shane. How are you?
I'm loving it. I'm not gonna lie. Under the circumstance, I am still loving it. And we also joined by Nate. How are we doing, Nate?
Yeah, I'm doing well, mate. You know,
After a couple of hours sleep, yeah.
yeah, a couple of hours sleep. So yeah, I've just had my breakfast at like 5 p.m. So that's
Wow.
The live for Riley. Eddie, how we doing as well?
Yeah, doing good today, mate. I've had my sleep, so I should be fresh anyway, man. Let's go.
all right.
Let's
Don't
go.
brag. Don't brag.
Okay. And we're also joined by some obviously many fantastic United supporters in there, but we're joined by Nino van der Ros, Aaron Homeyard, Asha Katana, Ajayi Maxwell, Fablo Pornals. Sorry about the pronunciations, guys. Illy United, Hashi, and many more, guys. And thank you very much for joining. And if you are new to the stream, make sure you're liking and subscribing and sharing the fantastic content that Flying Pig brings to all the United fans, the best fans in the world, may I add.
Yeah, man. Legendary fans, man. Get your likes in there.
Do you know what I mean? Look, well, I suppose it's time to get into it. We've got a fair bit to discuss. So for those of you watching, we are going to be covering the West Ham versus Manchester United preview as well. But we're going to start on one of the main talking points over the last few days, which doesn't involve the young boys game, because obviously we've covered that as well. But this one, it's about Cristiano Ronaldo. I'm only joking. We're covering Paul Pogba and his contract situation. We've talked enough about Cristiano Ronaldo, I think, for now. So the question being, gents, and I'm going to put it out there, and I did mention before we got on air, is Paul Pogba, first of all, is he the right guy? Is he the man? Is he the guy that we should be committing another, say, 3 or 4 years to? And I'm imagining close to £500,000 a week. Griffo, if we start with you, do you think Paul Pogba is worth committing to long term?
It's a tough one, isn't it? Because we've been talking about this ever since he really came back. In one sense, the amount of problems he's created while he's here hasn't been ideal. But at the same time, how many more talents like Pogba are there you can bring in and get a direct replacement into? So whether it is tough, I don't think we should be committing 4 years for Paul Pogba. We should try and find. I don't think you're going to directly replace a player like Paul Pogba, but I think you have to find somebody similar that can do different stuff, because Pogba's one of the best midfielders in the world on this day. The problem is that day doesn't come around every game, which it should.
Good point.
So in terms of 4 years, I'm reluctant, personally.
Okay. Well, I'd be inclined to agree with you in regards to the committal in terms of length of time. But what they like to do, I suppose, in contracts nowadays is a lot of 2 in a 1 or 3 in a 1, meaning an optional 1 year. But I think anything we commit to Paul Pogba, it is going to be a substantial wage. We can afford it, I suppose, if you want to look at it like that.
The Glazers have money, though, don't they, Shane?
The problem is, obviously, we're the cash cow, aren't we, as an entity in itself. But that being said, Raiola is obviously turning the cog. He's obviously going to be getting a massive payout as well, as Pogba looks like he's possibly leaning towards extending his contract with us. I'm going to pose another question, well, the same question, but to yourself, Nate. Seeing as you've just woken up, I'm going to try and catch you off guard here. Is he worth committing to? Obviously, Griffo's given his opinion. Obviously, it's to Griffo's point, it has been few and far between in terms of his world-class ability being displayed. Is he worth committing to long term?
I'm very 50-50 on it, because it's like his time at United is sort of flattered to deceive in a way, because obviously he's not like you could arguably say that this is probably the only time where United have had a team around him that will probably challenge for the title. You know, you got the likes of Varane, and obviously that's been the key sort of point that's been raised by United fans over the past few years, or they've not had a team around him. However, with his agent, there's surely, like, I think Gary Neville's mentioned it countless times, where since his agent is sending out messages like this, Pogba's technically his employer. You know, he's employed the agent, so to speak. He can turn around and say to the agent, you know, or to Mino Raiola, you know, can stop sort of leaking, sort of saying this stuff in the press. You know what I mean? It's like Pogba does have a sort of certain say on that. I think for me, I'd rather much give a contract to Pogba than say the contract extensions we have given out over the years, because it wouldn't make sense to me that, like, you either give a contract extension to Ashley Young, Nemanja Matic, Juan Mata, but then you're stalling and you're sort of dilly-dallying over, you know, a Pogba contract. But I'll sort of say that I'll say offer him a contract. However, you need to really, really stamp out his agent's comment to get him under control. But that's not going to be the case, because Raiola's probably got more pull than certain Premier League clubs at the minute. So, you know, yeah, I'd risk it. As I say, I'd risk it, you know, but it's... Again, I don't know.
Can I just come in there, actually?
Go ahead, Ed.
Because there is a lot of this hype surrounded around Raiola. I mean, obviously the quotes that the media have released are his quotes, but they've got to be blamed for the timing as well, because people blame the timing of certain things that get released, such as I think there was something before the the Leipzig game last year, where it was touch and go with Man United qualifying, wasn't it, from the group there, and then something was released about Pogba's future, wasn't it? And I think Pogba was dropped consequently.
It was also the League Cup semi-final against City as well.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
So I was just about to go into the fact that, because people were thinking, "Oh, what's up with the timing? Why has Raiola come out now?" The thing is, if you look into more research, the media timed it for it to come out at that point.
Yeah.
They didn't. Raiola didn't make the comments at that point or release it at that point. The media chose to do it, so they are to blame for some of this distraction. It's a distraction, isn't it? Really, when you look at it sometimes, especially when things is released just before big games.
Yep.
So yeah,
absolutely. I think we do need to take stock of that as well to some degree, but at the same time, we don't need to get overawed by it. Because the reason I said it is purely because, come what may, Raiola is the engine that's driving that train in some way, shape, or form. So we do need to understand, like Eddie said, there is a timing aspect to it. There always is, unfortunately. Yeah. I think there will be a lot of sitting on the fence, like yourself, Nate, Griffo, yourself, Eddie. We're all going to be like questioning this, because one of the questions I had for yourselves, and guys in the comments, please let me know whether you think. And my question is, and posed to, is Pogba's heart actually with Manchester United? Is it really with United? Do you really think he's fully committed to United?
Can I just say, because my view on Pogba, like Griffith was saying, it's like, okay, Pogba's the best on his day when he shows up with those Hollywood passes. There's not many players that can do that. Okay,
that's true.
But it's not like if Pogba's been like kind of intermittent with his play, that we shouldn't go for another player. You should always try and go for another player if this guy's not committing, though. But the big thing is his positioning, isn't it? We've always seen he's put into this double pivot, then he's moved on to the left wing, then he's even played right wing at one point, didn't he? I think it was maybe against Liverpool or something. So I think a big thing for Pogba to be staying, is for Ole to put him in that position where he doesn't have to get, pulled back into defence, because we've seen what he does, man. Some people call him Jogba because he jogs a lot when it should be high intensity to get the ball back.
I just feel like, though, with that, Eddie, it's always going to be something that's going to be put to Paul Pogba, regardless how he plays. in terms of how well he plays, what position he's actually situated in initially, it's always going to be labelled it, okay, can he play there? Can he play there? What it comes down to is he effective when he's on the pitch? And that's why I'm saying, when you look at the performances for France, it's been outdated now in terms of how many times it's been said. But when he plays for France, when he has played for Juventus, look, he wasn't a world beater at Juventus by any means, but his performances were a bit more consistent. That's where it's key. And he had a team around him that was settled. At this present time, we still well, like Nate said, this is the first time we've had a squad that you can literally say is built around him that should be challenging. What was you saying, Eddie? Sorry.
Yeah, that's the thing though, isn't it? Like when we've seen him, so lately for France, you see him, the way he plays in that midfield. I just got to go back to that Germany game when they played against Germany, and I think it was I think they won 1-0. I think it was in the Euros.
Yeah.
I had Pogba on player cam. Yeah, I was like, okay, I'm listening to everyone saying that, okay, he plays better for France. Why is this the conundrum? And I was watching, and he does the same thing in terms of jogging, not really doing the defensive work. Kante does the work of two men.
That is the thing
for everyone.
Like that is the thing, though. Is like in France, he's literally got the best CDM in the world.
That's the big difference.
And then at United, he's got Fred and McTominay. And that's because
he's worked there, hasn't he, though, Nathan? When there's been a double pivot covering for him and he's on the left wing, we've seen the best of him, in my opinion.
But here's the thing, though. It's like, do you remember in 17-18 when obviously Mourinho tried Matic and Pogba in the midfield and things like that? I think a lot of it, because I think. Hang on, I think the ice cream band's gone past. Sorry about that. I
couldn't hear anything. That's all right.
That's good. Right. With Matic, he really sort of knocked himself out during that season, and then 18-19, he was absolutely tired of his legs because he was. Can you hear that, by the way? I'm sorry.
I can hear it now.
Okay, it's okay, Nate. It's okay.
Yeah.
So that's a little backing track for you.
That's the day theme tune going past. Sorry about that. But it's like in 18-19, Matic's form dropped heavily because he was tired from sort of covering for Pogba throughout the season previous, and like with Pogba, it's a case of you say, is he committed to United? Do you think that he feels that United have not been committed to him? That's why he wants to leave.
Yeah, can I just say quick? Yeah, I think it's the fact that he's getting played out of position. Yeah, is the fact that he's not committing. I think that's a big thing for him because he
hold on, Eddie, out of position though, because this is that age-old thing, isn't it? Out of position. So Ollie sort of alluded to in his press conference about now obviously labelling players to be this midfielder, that midfielder, as in a CDM, as in a CEM, as in a box to box, and he alluded to like the Brian Robson, Paul Scholes, Nicky Butt, Roy Keane, about how they were midfielders, central midfielders, as it were. So, I mean, surely if the ability he has, I mean, look at Steven Gerrard, in terms of just being a complete midfielder. Frank Lampard in terms of being a complete midfielder. Paul Scholes in terms of being a complete midfielder. I mean, we never said, oh, Paul Scholes can only play there or he can only play there. We kind of give Paul Pogba a bit of a blight, I feel. And that's why I feel, if we happen to then really focus on putting someone in a team for him to play, shouldn't you just, if you're that good, shouldn't you just be able to perform anyway?
But we've seen with Pogba, he's very temperamental. If you see him a lot, he does what he wants to do, and even for France, you could debate that the manager is got like some tactics where he wants to organize it a bit more than Ole. It's Deschamps, isn't it? I think he's kind of a pragmatic coach, but we see he wants to leave that work to Kante. For me, at the end of the day, I think it's Pogba's attitude. He doesn't want to do it. Mm-hmm. He can do it. That's why people call him lazy. He can do the defense. He's done it a bit, but he doesn't want to. How do you get someone to do something they don't want to do? Especially when it's Pogba with his big ego. He's got a massive ego. I think you just have to work it where he's got that free position. Like he wants to do what Bruno's doing. I think not have to track back.
Well, what do you think to that, Griffith? Because obviously the question is posed, obviously as well. Is his heart at Manchester United? Is it really with Manchester United? Do we feel like he is actually going to be in it for the? Because I've seen us struggle quite a lot at times, and I think I can hear an ice cream van going past mine as well. That same one that's gone past you.
Is that on your side, Shane?
Yeah, there's one coming past me as well. So I was going to say, that's a quick ice cream van. Griffo, what's your thoughts, mate? Is his heart really with Manchester United, or is it just a bit of a fallacy at the moment?
I don't think it was when the comments before the Leipzig game came out, which was, about a year ago now?
Yeah.
I think over the last 12 months, we probably got the best Paul Pogba we've ever had at United, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And I also think the Varane transfer plays a big part in that, because from what I remember, there was loose links with Varane. And then suddenly United were like, oh, we want to go get Varane. And I think as much as we needed a centre-back at that time, they kind of used Varane as a little pulling tactic to try and get Pogba. So I think, and Pogba's going to see we've got Sancho, Ronaldo and Varane in the door. I think these last 12 months have been designed to try and get Paul Pogba to re-sign it. Because okay, now Ronaldo's signed, it's a bit different, but before Ronaldo signed, Paul Pogba was the brand the Glazers love. Paul Pogba's face is on everything. He's on Pepsi, he's on everything. Yeah. He's a dream for the Glazers, and they don't want to get rid of him at all. So they're going to try anything and everything to try and keep him at the club. So I think the tipping point may be the Varane transfer, because him and Varane are good friends from national duty, of course, international duty. It's so hard, the Paul Pogba situation, but I think I honestly can't read it. It's such a difficult one to read.
It's going to be.
I think
wouldn't
he
you
might
have
be
signed
slowly
by now
tipping
then?
to signing a new contract.
Wouldn't you have signed by now then, if those techniques of getting these players in were going to work? Don't you think it would have gone, okay, let me get down, put that pen to paper, do it now? You know?
Yeah, that's true, but
why is he still thinking?
Yeah, but maybe it's because he's literally spent about 2 or 3 years seeing, Stoke's third choice goalkeeper walk through the door, Fred for 50 million, and he's probably sat there just thinking, you know what, even though I've got a season left and I've seen all these players walk through the door, you said like Varane, Ronaldo, and obviously forgot about Tom Heaton, my boy. But,
your boy.
Yeah. But
shout out to Tom Heaton.
Yeah, shout out, yeah. Still hasn't conceded a goal yet this season. But,
but no clean sheets though, bro.
Yeah, exactly. But he might just come to the point where he's just frustrated with all that he wants to seek a new challenge. But again, I don't know. You see, like, it's not just Raiola as well who's been fueling his comments. You've heard comments from Pogba himself saying that he's wanted a new challenge.
Ever since that time, man, it's been hellacious and trying to see where he's going to commit, man. Yeah.
Here's the thing, I always think it's really sort of weird the players sort of time at a club where, I think Griffo said earlier, as soon as he returned back, it was then a question of pretty much most summers, when is he going to leave? And it's like, surely that should not be the case when you sign a player in terms of that ability and that sort of stature. You think, right, you build a team around him, but it's just been a media circus every single year around him, to the point where is that yours? And he's made his way around yours.
That's me again. He's
I tell you what, we need to get the ice cream van on the show like next time round. He's a little feature, isn't he? But I don't
get a sponsorship.
Yeah. But as I was saying, it shouldn't be a case of a club like Man United where a player's sort of future is the main story every single summer, because it's like even when United were signing, say Ronaldo, Varane, etc., obviously you hear Romano saying about how Pogba staying this summer, this, that, and the other. It was just constant. He's like, if it wasn't a transfer story, it's Paul Pogba, and that might be one of the reasons why I say it might be sort of good to sort of let Pogba go. So then there's no sort of, say, before a Manchester derby, there's no story about Pogba to sort of say like unsettle the team. There's no stories about his agent coming out and
Nathan, this is where it comes back to the media just pulling the strings, like trying to get people to watch and see what their headlines are, because there's other players that do take a contract into like a last year or whatever, or don't sign something, because I think Bruno he's been pressured to sign something. He's not signing an extra thing yet, and I don't think we hear as much as that. Like
I think what we have to remember as well is that these players obviously play for Ollie. End of the day, And if you look at it as much as we as fans look at it and say, okay, is Ollie actually good enough to take this squad to this level? Because at the moment in time, like I said, over the past few shows we've harked on about the fact that a lot of ex-professionals, pros, pundits, news reports are saying that, okay, regardless of players that we have, due to Ollie being at the helm, we're still unlikely to win the league. We're still unlikely to win any major trophies. There will be a degree of thought process with the players, but obviously they know Ollie a lot better than us. Now, Pogba, obviously, the way he started this season is he's setting records in terms of obviously his assists per games, but at this point, he's got 7 assists in 4 games. Now, that's a record. No player's done that inside the first 4 games, and that's fantastic. But I think what we need to look at as well is due to the quality of player going up and the depth of quality going up as well. Now, Pogba, I don't think he's ever really not created opportunities. It's now just based on the conversion rate of the people he's putting those opportunities through to. We're actually converting a lot more, and he has more options to pass to. So I suppose thus his actually conversion rate of assists goes up dramatically. But
Shane, can I ask quick though? Can I ask you? Sorry.
Hold on. What I will say is on that is that part of it. So the fact that we've signed these players, he stated that he's happy with the signings, or it's been reported that he's stated he's happy with these signings. Do you think that's the main reason that he's actually looking, or it's reported as he's looking to extend his time at Manchester United? Is that the main reason, do you think, because he's happy with the signings? And whoever wants to answer that first.
I mean, I'll stick to my point from before, is the fact that I think he needs to be played out of that pivot for me. Because I think his happiness, despite other great players being there, is the main thing. Because I think Pogba just rates himself in terms of being that main guy, and he's not really got to have that role he wants, that free
mentality,
role. Yeah. So I think that's the deal breaker because I think he would have signed already if he's gonna see that these players are coming in and he wants to commit. But I was gonna say, like, in that Newcastle game, it was weird to see him in that pivot, and I don't know if you guys noticed that Matic was getting forward in front of him quite a bit, and making those through balls. And I think that's going to deny Pogba to do those assists that he wants to do if he's having to stay behind Matic, if you know what I mean.
I don't know. Okay, I don't know if that's going to be the case per se in terms of Matic or Fred or McTominay. I do believe that Ollie will expect Pogba to mostly create out of the deeper role midfielders, but I mean, to that point, I mean, I'll put that question to you. Truth be told, Nathan, do you think it's down to the players that we've signed this summer? Because obviously he was wanting to, it's reported again, to say that he was waiting to see what Manchester United do by way of transfers. Do you think that's the reason it seems as though he's looking to extend?
Maybe, because it's like I said before, I think the window United have had compared to, say, other windows, has been, it's sort of, look, United are actually like a big club again.
Yeah.
Because you can argue and say, like, that's probably why the likes of Liverpool and City, well, obviously City's a different sort of kettle of fish because they've got the money to sort of do whatever anyway. But say Liverpool, for example, they've sort of, the reason why they've come back into football because they've got the right management in, they've got the right recruitment in, and they can find players at the best value. But United have sort of been sort of asleep, more or less, and sort of let teams sort of overtake them in a way. But I think that might be a reason. However, I also sort of go back to my point of maybe for him it might be like too little too late sort of thing. He's been here for how many years now? Like 5 years, coming up 6 next year. So it might be a case of too little too late. However, if sort of it.
How do you mean too little too late though? It's not like it's an expiry date on Pogba. He's still
but
prime years left.
But if you spend like a certain amount of time at a club and whatnot, and you sort of see say teams in and around you sort of strengthening and getting your rival teams as well. By the way, it's not like sort of any sort of small teams, it's your two big rivals strengthening and improving and achieving success. You sort of looking as a player, you probably look over and just think, you know, what am I doing staying here when the club has clearly not shown any ambition over those last few years? Whereas now, like I said, this summer we have.
Yeah.
But it might be a case of, you know, for far as we know, he might help United win the league title and then leave. You know, that's a feasible possibility to happen. But
so, do you think that's a likely possibility? It's feasible, yeah, but do you think that's likely? Realistically,
the title and leagues.
Yeah.
Yeah,
really,
it is a likely scenario because I think, like I said, United are in a position now where United have only got one weakness in the team. If you look at it as a collective thing, we all know what that weakness is because it's right in the middle. Because United are basically donut FC. Everything's around him. That's the hole in the middle. Do you know what I mean? So,
where do you think he goes then? If he's going to leave then? Because if he wins a title here, why would he go then? Wouldn't he want to defend that?
Well, I don't know, because there's obviously Raiola talked about Juventus, how they've got a great relationship with him, etc., etc. We don't know. Madrid might still be a possibility because if they're going in for Mbappe, you know, and with the way they're sort of having a bit of a cultural sort of a rebuild and this, that, and the other, you know, if he's been told, oh, you can be a sort of focal point or part of the rebuild at Real Madrid, that's more of an enticing possibility. No disrespect to Man United. It's more of an enticing possibility than being a midfield at United, so to speak.
Okay, so with that being said, though, as has been mentioned, obviously the relationship with Rafael Varane, I don't think there's too many bigger world football stars than Cristiano Ronaldo. They're obviously the potential of Jadon Sancho. Those signings a lot. Oh, and also your guy Tom Heaton, Nath. I can't say they've been. You know, there's not too much more that we could have done. Obviously, like you said, than the obvious. Griffo, what do you see that as being the main catalyst, or do you believe it's something else? Or like Eddie's mentioned before, if it was just down to the signings that we've done or we're going to do, he would have signed already. What's your take on that, Griffo?
I think the signings are a massive impact, but I think he's going to look at the manager as well. And I think because at the end of the day, so there's still doubts over how far Oli could take this team, and Pogba will feel those same doubts as the fans does. And if Solskjaer gets the sack, someone else comes in, wants to tweak the team, that's just wasting prime years of Pogba. Pogba will want to win trophies immediately. And if he doesn't believe in Solskjaer and doesn't believe in a next manager that might come in, he might think other options. Juventus is a weird one. I don't see the appeal personally.
Right. Juventus is a big one.
Is right.
Yeah, because he's already been there and done that, isn't he? He's conquered that Italian mountain, you know, if you were to call it that. You know, he's won that league there. I think he would want to go that. Maybe if PSG come, but I don't know if they're the
only ones I feel like would be an option for him. I feel like what teams, if any, do you think would be in for him though, Griffo?
Probably PSG. I think Nate was right with Madrid. Not too many more, I don't think. I don't think any German teams would be in for him. Any other English sides, I don't see that happening. So I think it is really either PSG, Madrid, or Juventus.
Yeah, that's fair enough, and I mean that's a fair comment as well. And guys, just realistically, I feel like if we're being honest, it's hard to read the current situation for Paul Pogba. But I suppose we do our best to deduce from what we read, what we hear, and what we watch, I suppose. But it's such a hard one to actually gauge and give a definitive, yep, he's going to do X, Y, Z. We can only lean on towards what I suppose has been reported and give our best sort of views lean to that. But I did want to sort of take our attention to the comments as well, because there's been a great many comments flying in.
Yeah, what are people saying? Hey. You know what? Yeah, Miss PK Bandit, she's been banned from doing the super chats. Yeah, she's not behaving herself. Joe said to her not to do that. Yeah.
Right. Well. She.
Got props to her anyway.
I was going to say she dropped it in again. To be fair, so I suppose it's
Joe doesn't want YouTube to get a bit.
But no, it was greatly appreciated for the support as always. I'm just looking at. Oh, I don't know if it's frozen there. Is it frozen on your screen, guys?
No, I'm still. My head's still moving, so I'm perfectly fine.
Okay, brilliant.
Hello, dance.
And then, I'm just looking through some of the comments, and there's been a general consensus of pretty much Pogba. Is he worth that amount? Is he worth sort of like 300, 400 plus K a week? That's what I keep seeing, and it's a very relevant question, truth be told.
In all fairness, though, is anyone like away from United? You saw in the last couple of years, Mesut Ozil was earning that sort of money. You know, it's it's the price you pay for the sort of the lucrative players. Are they worth it? Probably not. But it's like it's the going rate. You know, it's like with transfer fees. Was Harry Maguire worth 80 million? No,
exactly.
It's the going rate. And the English tax, obviously, but you know.
What happened to the undisclosed fees that used to happen? Where it's like, okay, you see on Sky Sports, this guy undisclosed. It's like, why can't
that was
people
probably
behind closed doors?
Yeah, but it was like they were trying to sort of hide the money figures from the tax man or something like that. It's like, oh, I'm not revealing how much I'm paying for this player. No, you ain't finding out.
They should do, so we don't have this debate over like whether he's worth it. Just let the guy get down to his business and see if he's good on the pitch, so we don't even look at the price tag.
Yeah. I suppose it's going to be one. Yeah, I suppose that's always going to be. I did want to say, like, as well, where you've got that, it's always been a thing now where what do we say? What do we say? Do we go for the full deal, as in the total sum of what the transfer fee is, or do we just say it's a ballpark fee? Because like Anthony Martial, for example, we said, okay, yeah, it's going to be XYZ, but in essence, it didn't. Really, he's not a Ballon d'Or winner, so we're not going to have to end up paying like massive of amounts. So, like you said, Nate, it is all pretty much relative. I did want to say, gents, as well. We've probably got maybe another few games, handful of games where we can say, is Paul Pogba definitely categorically 100% worth it? And because there's a point here that Kay Slater makes, and obviously it's a very good point as well. You know, he represents Paul Pogba, but does he actually state what his thought process is? Because obviously, as Lingard did, he moved him on as well. But what was the reason for that? Was it because he wasn't happy with the things he was leaking, or if what Mino Raiola is saying all this time? Paul Pogba must be endorsing it to some degree, and I mean, is that a true representation of how Paul Pogba feels? Raiola, like's been mentioned, is a lover of Juventus, as he feels like the Juventus fan base love him. Do we, as Manchester United fans, show Paul Pogba love? Does he feel like we've maybe not shown him enough support? Is that something that you can say where it's down to us, or is it just Paul Pogba being a prima donna?
Sorry, I think it's a bit of both, because you just have to look at like the way he plays on the pitch. Yeah, there's times where he doesn't want to track back. Yeah, when he can, that's the sign of a prima donna for me. It's someone that can do something, but then they think that maybe they're too good for doing it, or that should be left to people like Kante, like Pogba does in that national team. Yeah, in terms of like off the field with like Raiola, it's a real hard one, because he's allowed, like Kay Slater was saying, if Pogba didn't like what his agent's saying, would a big prima donna man like Pogba just sack him? He would, wouldn't he?
He would.
So, but Pogba doesn't come across as a bad guy, so maybe something's going on behind the scenes where Pogba's not getting some of these things he was promised, such as like his positioning on the field. Maybe he was promised a free role and he's not getting it, and maybe he's allowing this agent to ruffle a few feathers, and say these kind of things,
But Paul Pogba, like, he's a brand, like we've kind of mentioned before. He really is a world brand as well, and I feel like that he's big enough to sort of, really say, I don't want this to be said. I want this to be said. I don't know if he'd let someone else dictate. I feel like, they're saying there's no smoke without fire comes to mind in that way as well.
Yeah.
Because he's an intelligent guy. He is an intelligent guy. So I feel like we have to sort of weigh up, okay, is he really saying this? Is he really saying that? But at the same time, whatever Mino Raiola comes out with, if it was that bad and Pogba really didn't agree with what he was saying, he'd sack him, wouldn't he? I think that's why that's a relevant point. And I just wanted to touch on another super chat from Real Clammy. Saying we're bloody legends, and I listen, guys. It's not me. It's these guys. It's these guys. It's Griffo. It's Nath. It's Eddie. But much appreciated, and I will say it again. I'm grateful for being able to host. Obviously, Piggy's given me that opportunity as well. So thank you very much for the super chat as well. And hopefully we're doing Piggy justice as well.
The ironic thing is, we're on about Raiola and stuff like that. That guy's profile picture is Raiola. I thought he entered the chat as if like, what are you boys chatting or something like that.
No, that is heavy irony as well. Yeah. I do think it's going to be a tumultuous time with however long Paul Pogba is at Manchester United. It's going to continually be a topic of discussion, regardless of what it is, whether it's his performances, whether it's he's tipping his cap for a mention for another team. I just feel like it's always going to be something around Paul Pogba, regardless. I mean, we've got Cristiano Ronaldo at the club, for crying out loud. We've just signed one of the best defenders in the world. We've got one of the highest potential players in world football, in Jadon Sancho, and we're still going to be coming back, and we still are talking about Paul Pogba. And guys, there's 64 people taking part, so thank you very much for watching. Please drop a like, make sure you're sharing as well, and if you're brand new to this channel, make sure you're subscribing. I will keep mentioning the fact that we are looking to do some fan cams at the games as well, and it's just a matter of time before we start doing it as well, so make sure you stay in tune, guys, because it is Flying Pig United is going to be taking off even more so thank you very much for joining us. Do you think it's just Paul Pogba the enigma, guys? It's just no matter what's going on, who we've got, we're just going to be talking about him?
I was thinking that that should be his nickname, the enigma, definitely. Because how long have we been talking about this kind of thing? I mean, Nathan was touching on it. It's been too long where it's just, it's like purgatory. Like, whether it's like, is he going to stay or is he going to go? It's like, it's too much of a grey area. And then Pogba is a little bit to blame because, you could come out, sack your agent, or you say, okay, you hold a press conference, or you do something, an interview where you're saying to the fans, all right, I'm committing. All right, can everyone shut up and let me just play now? Yeah. So, I reckon something's just happening where he's holding out because he's maybe unsure what role he's going to have in the team. I think that's a big deal breaker for me because he looks miserable sometimes when he's in that double pivot. And he has to track back and
moody. He does look moody.
That body language. I just think he's waiting to be assured of his position. I mean, imagine if you got that Bruno position. I reckon he's silent on that dotted line because he just wants to attack. 7 assists already. That's the guy that wants to just attack. Okay,
well, here's a question from G Wolf. G Wolf in the house. Thanks for joining us, brother. It's too little, too late for Pogba. I think it's time for pastures new. Okay. Obviously, this season that obviously he's played. Listen, I think that's a big statement. Pastures new. We only said at the beginning of the season for last season he should leave. Okay, Nate, I'm going to come to you with that one. I mean, G Wolf, that's a very valid point, and thanks for joining in. What's your take on that then, Nate? Pastures new.
Well, I wouldn't. Well, strong words, but I think I mentioned about it. Like, it might be too little, too late for Pogba, based on sort of what I've said about the ambition of the club showing in the last few years towards him and his sort of attitude towards things. You say about this season he's playing well and whatnot. I'm going to sort of pose a question as well. Do you think it might be because he's, I've seen a couple of comments in there about, do you reckon he might be sort of playing for a move in a way? Because we've seen over the past couple of years he has these spurts of form where you think, okay, this is it. This is the Paul Pogba Man United signed for 89 million back in 2016, and then sort of when the transfer gossip dies down, you'll see the form suddenly drop. It's like it's like similar to what's his name? It's like similar to I always sort of compare it to Nemanja Matic is a prime example of that, where he'll play.
Oh yeah, he had a burst.
He'll play well for a new contract. As soon as he gets a new contract, his form will drop because he knows he's settled and he knows he's getting paid. He knows the club isn't going to offload him anytime soon. But with Pogba, it might be a case of he's paid for a move when he might get word from his agent that the interest has died down, he'll sort of drop back, and then you'll see little spurts of form here and there. It might be a case this season because he knows that he's got a year left. He might just go, yeah, screw it, balls to the wall. I'll play like Prime Zidane and Ronaldinho mixed in one, and then get my free transfer to Juve or Real Madrid. So,
okay. Well, what about you, Griffo? What's your point towards that? Are you in agreement? Partials new, or?
I think it probably is time to go. I think it's gone on too long. I was thinking of posing a question actually. Do you think maybe this is more Mino Raiola? I'm thinking if Haaland came in theoretically next summer, do you think we'd have similar issues with him, or do you think this is a possible one?
I think less so, because obviously I don't know the situation sort of back then or when Raiola joined up with Haaland. Obviously Ollie and Haaland, they've got that previous Abernay when they worked at Mulder with each other. They've got that previous relationship, and obviously that's going to be key, because obviously Haaland's not going to join because Roy Keane ended his dad's career. Do you know what I mean? So, do you know what I mean? So,
listen, it's facts, but it's harsh facts. It is, isn't it?
Yeah,
as Nate in true Nate fashion, he drops the hard facts. I love it, Nate. I love it. I love it.
But I see you mean, Griffo, because it's like you don't know whether Raiola's going to do the same with Haaland, because obviously you heard over summer about how much Raiola potentially wanted agent fee for Haaland. It was like 150 million transfer fee and say 40 million agent fee. And it's like, Jesus Christ, that's
ridiculous money.
That's a lot. So next year when his release clause comes into play, you're probably paying 100 mil instead of 60 mil, because you're paying the 40 million to old Raiola for selling a player. But good question. Yeah,
I think it was only theory wise. I'm not a big fan of Haaland coming in, because I think by the time Ronaldo is done here, I think Greenwood would probably be best here at number 9.
Yeah.
So I think he's probably the future. Yeah. It's like Haaland, I'm not too convinced with.
Are we all in agreement with that then, in regards to Griffo and Haaland? Because I certainly second that as well.
He needs to get out of here as well. So it's like, it's just an overload of forwards right now, and then Greenwood has to be allowed a good route to get to his top form and eventually take that position up front. Man, he's the best finisher at the club, as Ole said. So come on, it's got to be an avenue for him to get there eventually.
Okay, well, there's an interesting comment from Dan McGill. Thank you very much for joining us, Dan. I think Pogba is frustrating because he could do a great role in at number 6, which is what we're desperate for. But he so often lacks discipline and loses concentration. I've seen him track back and tackle also. Guys, okay, if we start with you then, Eddie, on that one, do you think Pogba could indeed fill the number 6 role, or is
I'm just going to rehash what I've said already, really. I don't think, because Pogba's mid-20s now, or late 20s. Well, how old is Pogba now? 27?
28 nearly in it.
28, yeah.
27, 28, yeah.
That's mature for a footballer, right? Yeah. I know footballers sometimes, when they've slowed down from...
We're not talking potential anymore, are we?
We're not talking that, but I know certain players, when they've attacked for a living and then they slow down, they go back into a defensive position, yeah?
Yeah.
Pogba's not there yet. And like I was saying before, he doesn't like defending, yeah? Even though he can do it. We see how strong he is. We've seen, if you look at some stats, he's got some of the best ball recovering stats that there is. And he doesn't want to do it, though.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't think you can teach him discipline at this moment. I don't know if Ole is the guy to do that, especially because he's the nice guy, isn't it? He's not really disciplinarian. He's like, I'm basically this is the boys' club. We're all cool. We're having a good time. So for me, Dan McGill makes a good point. It would be good if someone could discipline Pogba to do that, because he's got the physical attributes. He has the stats before. When he does it, he can do it.
Yeah.
But he's miserable. He don't want to do it.
Yeah.
So it's like, I think you're kind of knocking at or talking to a brick wall if you're saying to Pogba, okay, Pogba, calm down with your, your showboat and passing, do a bit of tackling for me. I don't think he wants to hear that. Yeah. No, and do you know what though as well, which is interesting, and I think we do need to appreciate is that I'm going to allude to Ollie's point again. We need to really look at with all the attributes that Pogba's got. So we referenced Kante earlier now, doing two players running really. Why, is it down to fitness? I really don't think so at this point in time, being a professional for that many years. So it then comes down to application and effort. So really it's a mentality thing. Kante puts in that much effort, whereas Pogba, like you said as well, alluded to earlier, Eddie, watching France and the player camp, he doesn't do it. He trots along, yeah, exactly. Yeah. So I mean, people used to get onto Dimitar Berbatov as well about his languid style, but he was effective at what he did and he played his role. So the question is, I suppose, with Pogba, does he know his role? Do we know his role? Does Ollie know his role? And if not at this point in time, is it worth investing that much amount of money in someone that you can't really assign a role to, and he just plays out his role? I don't know. I'm someone that believes in keeping your best players, but if your best players are detrimental to the overall collective, is it a winning formula? I honestly don't know. Paul Pogba is just a massive conundrum that I think we all at this moment in time are going to continually question. So it's a good subject to keep harking on about, but I reference to again, despite what's going on at Manchester United, Paul Pogba will always be at the forefront of the news with something or the other. But I digress. We do need to look at some other points other than just Paul Pogba's contract, guys. But I'll be honest with you, we've not really had an answer on that one, unless I'm mistaken. If I could get a one-word answer, yeah, I know. But if I could get, and there's 80 people in the comments, all I want now, and just from the three of you as well, do we keep Paul Pogba past this season? Yes or no? Starting with you, Nate. Yes or no?
Great. You go to the person who's had 2 hours sleep.
Yes or no? Give me a yes or no. Comments, please. Yes or no? Do we keep Paul Pogba?
Yeah, yes.
Okay. Griffo, yes or no?
You might need Mo for that as well. Yeah. That's hilarious.
Griffo, was that a yes or a no?
Yes.
Eddie, yes or no?
Yes. Gotta be.
Okay. Right. I'm going to sit on the fence. So, yeah.
You do that, Shane.
No.
You said
What's
you didn't
going
sit
on?
on the fence.
Eh?
Last stream, you said you didn't sit on the fence.
Yeah, that's what
I remember
What is
that.
Shane doing?
So go yes or no.
Yeah, which one?
Okay. Damn it, Griffo, you held me against my word. Okay. Right. I'm gonna say yes. Truth be told, I'm gonna say yes. But swiftly moving on. So that was a unanimous actually.
So what are the people saying though? Are they saying yes
Well,
or no in the chat?
it literally at the minute it's I love Zlatan still. No, I'm only joking. Let's have a look. It's no from Sin Games, no from Lou Manu. It's no.
Wow.
It's a yes from Gunshi. It's a yes from Your Absolutions. It's yes from Frenchie. Get a CDM and we get the best out of Pogba. Simple. Okay, that's definitive.
That's it.
Yeah, we just need Kante. KC Slater, no. Relentless. Good luck on 100 likes with 23 watching. I don't know about that.
Wow.
No. Yes, Ilya. No from Emmanuel. No from Mrs. P. Oh, some controversy there. I think that is. Okay. A no from the Cape Cadet. A yes from Mr. Pig himself.
Hey.
Yes, no. Hold on. That's a yes, no. That's a yes, no. Yeah.
He's on the fence.
What is that? What is that? A yes, no. I don't know what happened there. Piggy, come on. You can't sit on the fence like I tried to. The lads didn't let me sit on the fence. Yes, yes. Okay, it literally is. I think this is just split regardless. It's just going to be split, isn't it? We do need to, however, gents, look at the West Ham versus Manchester United game coming up. West Ham have been somewhat of a bogey in recent times. I don't think we fare well against. I think if West Ham come out, we do them. But I think if West Ham's play a low block and holding, and they counter us, because we've seen a little bit susceptible against the counter at times, we may be in a little bit of trouble.
What was the scores last season? Didn't we beat him like all 3 times? Like
I was gonna say bar last season. Last season.
Right,
so you beat me to the punch. Just stop it, Eddie. I don't know, because they're on decent form. That what two wins, 2 draws, sitting 8th at the moment. 8 points as well. What it's got to be a bit of a difficult one. I'm not this game, because we're away as well, and I think we got them in the League Cup after this as well, straight away. I think as well. I'm not sure. What's your thoughts on that one, Griffo?
3 words: Mikel Antonio suspended.
Yeah,
I think that's
huge.
He's been probably one of the best players in the Premier League this season.
Yeah,
the fact he's not going to be playing is going to affect West Ham.
Yeah,
so
massively.
I think that could probably tip it in United's favour.
Okay.
He's their second striker, by the way. That could.
Eddie, you keep doing this to us. You keep doing this to us, Eddie.
In all fairness, last time we did it, the comment said Joel Linton, and I remember I broke out.
They play Yarmolenko up there or something.
Yeah. Yarmolenko is their next option. Okay. There was a comment here from Simon Cowie. What do you reckon to this one before we continue on, lads? If we sign Neves and Haaland next summer, Pogba will be very key next season.
In all fairness, it's on Neves this window, but.
Yeah, I think Neves could come. Not Haaland. I don't see Haaland coming. But Neves is Pogba. Yeah.
I don't think. I think because we kind of touched on it a minute ago there. I'd be very surprised if we went after Haaland and spent 160 odd mil. Truth be told, but you never know. You never know. I know Ollie loves Haaland. I just feel like Haaland's going to end up heading towards sort of Spain. That's my gut feeling. But do you think that's a possibility? Those 2 signings, gents? Yes or no? Or
yeah, possible, because Haaland, like I said, Haaland's got a release clause next summer of about 60
yeah.
Years, so, no.
I never understand why Dortmund do that, by the way, with their players.
Yeah, that's the reason why United didn't sign him from Salzburg in the first place, because they didn't want to get shafted with the whole, that release clause as well. And obviously, Haaland's dad wanted commission and this, that, and the other. But,
all that jazz.
All that.
But they have Haaland though at the club. Come on, you just sign him. They're just trying to haggle for that. Too many different little things in the contracts, man. That's some big problem when they do that.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Come on, man. He's a beast now. That's going to cost so much to come to the club.
Yeah, he is. He is. You're talking 160 plus. I think. I don't think it's any less. I really don't. So you're buying the potential of his proceeds as well. Obviously, he's already a massive European quality striker, but you're looking at that. But anyway, it's one of those. We are currently top of the league, gents. Top of the league.
You wouldn't think that after Tuesday's result, but
I know, and the performance, not just the result though, Nate, the performance as well. Yeah. So, it was, just in case, guys, you're wondering what's happened to my light, I broke the lead. I slept on it, so apologies.
You look alright though, still.
I broke the lead.
When he jumped from the fence, he knocked out.
No. Come on, Griffo. I can't believe you held me to that. You literally went. Oh.
Yeah.
Come here, Shane. You're not getting away with that one, mate. No.
Gotta be done.
He waited. He had that in his back pocket.
You did, didn't you? You did. You didn't let that go at all. I'm wary of West Ham, and but to Griffo's point, and I didn't know Mikel Antonio was out, so I'm very pleased with that. That's like, he does well against us, he really does, and I'm really happy. I'm really happy. Does that sway my belief that they'll cause us a problem? I just think they always cause an issue. So long as they come out and play against us, I think we'll do well. I would, however, like some predicted lineups of you gents. Who would like to go first with that? And this is, by the way, this is what we believe the team Ollie will select, not what we want to see. The team we believe Ollie will select. That's always a tougher one.
Yeah, I'll sort of jump the gun.
Go on there, Nathan.
So the back five, I think, is going to be set now. It's going to be De Gea, Wan-Bissaka, Varane, Maguire, Shaw. However, I will say, in regards to Wan-Bissaka and Shaw, especially this season, I think if a couple more performances, sort of poor ones, what they have had this season, I think Dalot and Telles could get an opportunity at some point to sort of make it.
What, is Telles fit again yet?
Telles is fit again. Telles is fit again. Yeah.
I'm thinking if Telles want to be in that team, those early whip balls into Ronaldo, he's going to mop them up. Do you know what I mean? So, but I think the back five staying the same. Obviously, for the Champions League game, obviously Wan-Bissaka won't be playing. I'm trying to think whether McTominay will be back for that game against West Ham. I'm only saying this because, like, the thing is, what's really mad is that, like, you reel through the options United got a CDM, and it's like Matic, McTominay, Fred, and be like, you're basically picking your poison. Do you know what I mean? It's like,
Matic should be fresh though, right? He didn't play that much in the last game.
Well, the Matic played like about. He came on in the against Young Boys, didn't he, for the last like 20 minutes or so. So actually, I'll go Matic. I'll go Matic, Pogba, Bruno in a sort of a midfield three, but I have
Matic, really 4-3-3.
But I'll have Matic sit.
Yeah, as a holding.
Yeah, I'll have Matic sit. Being like a progressive forward, a bit similar to like West Ham sort of do. They sort of like to have like Declan Rice sitting, Souček sort of going back and forth, essentially. But I'd go that with. I think the only three options you can go for is Greenwood on the right, because he didn't play at all midweek. Yeah, and obviously he's been in brilliant form so far this season. Sancho on the left. I thought like there's been a lot of criticism for some reason on Sancho already, and it's like, look, just let the boys settle. Just like, no, he got hooked he got hooked against Young Boys, but it's like that process of elimination. You weren't going to take X, Y, and Z off. So Sancho was the only
absolutely.
one to take off.
Even though he took off Bruno and Pogba, Bruno and Ronaldo later.
Yeah, you sort of, but you're not going to take them off in 36 minutes, are you? You know what I mean? It's like, and then obviously CR7 up top. Okay. No, I mean, I don't know if we can get away from that at the moment, but it'd be interesting to hear your take on that, then, Eddie. The 5-3-2 with Martial up top.
Hey. Go on, Eddie. Go on, Eddie. Give it to us, Eddie. Eddie, what you got for us, man? Come on. Tell me you're starting Martial over Sancho or Greenwood.
No, because we're doing what Ole would do, isn't
it?
So I've got to reel it in. Because like last time,
you got to reel it in.
The teams, I was just doing the ideal team. I just went into my own tangent, didn't I? I was trying to get into the mind of Ole. So yeah, I will go with the same back five as Nathan's saying. So De Gea, Wan-Bissaka, Varane, Maguire, Luke Shaw. That pivot, I think, Matic would be fresh. You want Matic back in there for a bit of control. I think Fred gets started in there again. Those two holding there, because we know that Ole loves Fred. I don't think McTominay is ready enough. Yeah, is he? And then obviously Bruno at the top of that midfield. Now the wings, Greenwood on the right, definitely, because he was rested, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was.
He was rested, so on the right. On the left, Yeah, 'cause you see, I've not even said Pogba yet. I reckon Pogba ahead of Sancho, you know? Just so, because we know he's got those assists.
Right,
So Pogba on
right.
that left, and then we got Big Ronnie up front, Big Ronaldo. I reckon he
Okay.
does that.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. Griffo?
I hate to be boring, but I've got basically the same team as Nate.
Griffo, don't do this to me, Griffo. Come on. Come on, Griffo.
The thing is, he's sitting on the fence, but next to me, he's got like a little space next to the fence against.
I wrote the West Ham preview for the website United Flying High earlier, and it was that team. So I think Nate's,
Okay.
Right.
Nate's read that and copied my team.
He ripped you off, man.
Man's been waiting 2 hours. I don't read.
No, go on.
Though, I do think there's a case for Dalot because he's going to be playing the Champions League games now, and he maybe need a bit more fitness. Give Wan-Bissaka a little break, so there is a case, but I'd still play Wan-Bissaka.
Yeah. Okay. I think it will be similar in terms of the back four. I believe it will be. Listen, I'm jumping the gun here, but the reason I'm jumping the gun is because I'm explaining my reasons. The back four will be the same. Obviously, back five will be the same as predicted. But I believe, obviously, that will be because the League Cup game, I believe, will go with Telles and Dalot, because obviously shortly after we're going to have the Villarreal game, which Dalot will more than likely start. I feel like he will go with Matic and Pogba as holdings. I know the deep line playmaker Pogba and the defensive beast that is Matic no longer, and I feel like he'll go with Greenwood on the right. I think he'll go with Lingard on the left hand side. I think he'll go with Lingard.
No shame.
Yeah. Reason I do have to explain that one. Don't I? I do have to explain that one.
Yeah.
And the reason being is because when you come joining playing against your old team, that whole thing. I feel like Ollie like go and get him, Jesse, go and get him, and and not only that, just because obviously what he did, his contribution against young boys. You try and work those kinks out so it's not in the forefront of your mind for too long. That's a possibility, and not only that, just to almost just to take a little bit off Sancho, because people just jump on players back so easily, and I feel like he's gonna try and help that development and not start him. Plus, it's an away game. We've got another game against them straight after at home. Bruno, I think is inevitable. And I think Martial's going to start instead of Ronaldo. To be fair, no, man, I'm just messing with you. I'm sorry. That's tipping my cap to you there, Eddie. No, I think he'll go CR7 all the way.
There was like, oh my god, someone else agreed.
No. Remember that I didn't say Marcel by himself up front. Now I know he doesn't work up there by himself.
No, you're right. No, I feel like I know the Jesse Lingard one is a bit of a strange one, but Ollie, I think I got a hold on his way of thinking. We talk a lot, me and Ollie, to be fair. But it's just one. I've got connections like that. To be fair, he did say I did try, and he said he's a bit busy, the next couple of days. But mate, who knows? Next week, who knows?
Okay.
But yeah, exactly. I did want to try and gauge you guys' thoughts. I know I've given you my opinion on my potential worries for the game. I did want to have a look at your predictions as well, if possible. I'm gonna start with you, Griffin. You can't give me a draw because that'll be sitting on the fence, mate. What's your prediction for the West Ham v United game?
I don't see West Ham scoring. It's either going to be 1 or 2-0. I'm going to be the optimist here and go 2-0.
Okay. I like that. Who's your goal scorers?
Ronaldo's the safe bet.
Okay.
I'll go Ronaldo.
Get them. Okay, Ronaldo and Fernandes. That is really safe. Griffo. That's the equivalent to sitting on the fence. I just want to say, Griffo. Okay.
Right, Ronaldo and Wan-Bissaka's going to.
Wan-Bissaka. There we go. There we go. There we go. There we go. Oh, yeah. There we go, Griffo. Okay, guys, making sure you're getting your comments in regards to the scores as well. I can see already. Jonathan has already said 2-0 to Manchester United. I'm assuming that is. Batman has already said 3-1 to Manchester United. Yeah, exactly. Batman Night Fan. I should have read the whole name there. Batman Night Fan.
He's always in there. Big up to him.
He's not fighting crime in Gotham. He's here.
We love it. Listen, I'll be robbing all day long. Okay. I'll say that's a fair prediction. What we saying, then, Eddie? What's your prediction?
Yeah, I think without Antonio, I think that's a big one for them. Yarmolenko. I don't think he's going to have enough of that playing time to really cause any trouble for Man United. I just see with all his tactics, I just see it being cagey again still.
Really?
Even though we should really attack them. So maybe like a 2-1. So I think they'll get one goal maybe, but just because of the how bad the Young Boys game was. I think there'll just still be a goal that goes in somehow. So, but I think Man United win. But 2-1.
2-1. Goal scorers?
Yeah, Ronaldo gets at least one. I reckon. Yeah, Ronaldo and Bruno. I reckon
you can't do that. You can't do that, Eddie. That's sitting on the fence. That because these guys are like our main goal threats now. Do you know what I mean? Because I'm just messing with you. I'm just messing with you.
You're just so sour from when Griffo called you out.
Yes, I am good because I can't believe he held me to it. That's why. So you're saying Bruno Ronaldo as well, yeah? Okay. Okay, Nate, what are you saying?
See, the thing is talking about Antonio like being out and stuff like that, but it's like they've still got threats like Jared Bowen, Benrahma start the season really well as well. CJ can obviously score a goal from the set piece. I'll tell you what, I'm gonna say 3-1. The reason why is because I think if West Ham do come after United do have potential to sort of pick them up with the counter attack. My worry is that it's at the minute it's individual mistakes. It's a common sort of thing. You're sort of like waiting for someone to sort of do something or sort of make a mistake. I'll say 3-1. Scorers, also I'll go safety with Ronaldo, but I'm going Ronaldo, Greenwood. Screw it. Varane gets his first goal for the club.
Woo! Go on, Nate. I like that one. I do.
I was tempted to sort of turn around and say, Teddy Sheringham comes back and scores against the club. I think that would have been a bit.
I'd back that as well. To be fair, I would do as well. What else?
Back asleep, man.
I like that. To be fair, Gungshi has said 3-1 as well. United Forever has said 2-0. Let's get them scorers in as well, guys. Yusuf Samuel said 3-1. Kaim says 0-0 joke. Okay. A 0-0, that would be something. Imagine I wonder what odds would be on a 0-0. Lynette Giggs has said 3-1. Who else we got? Yusuf he's given his goal scorers in Ronaldo and Greenwood as well. Who else we got? What other predictions have we got? And keep going through. I think the general consensus is we're scoring 3 goals. I'm going to go with 4-2. I think this is going to be a bit of an open game. DZ Red Devils said 3-1 as well. Yeah, 4-2, and I'll tell you for why. It's still that point of individual errors, unfortunately, on our point. So I feel like Jared Bowen is he's lethal. When he plays well, he's very good. He's very good. Souček is a bit of a beast in that centre of the park as well, I feel. 4-2. I'm going to go Ronaldo 2 goals. I'm going to go... Oh, no, hold on. Jesse Lingard to score. Whether it be he starts or comes off the bench. And I'm going to go with Slabhead Maguire to score from a corner. Open his account for this season. So I'm going to go with 4-2. I think there's goals in this one, and do you know what? I might actually put a nifty one on that one. To be fair, I'm feeling that one. So we've all gone for a win, and and we're all saying goals. Okay,
Yeah.
that's fair enough. That's fair enough.
James, sorry to interrupt. Can I just
Yeah.
ask quickly? Was everyone with their formation saying 4-2-3-1? Because I remember when you said when Nathan was in his team. Was it
No,
4-3-3?
no, 4-3-3. Nate, you went, didn't you? With Matic holding.
I went Matic sort of playing as deep.
You see,
playing deep
that's debatable, isn't it? Because I just wanted to ask everyone what they thought of. If we have time, do we have time still just to discuss?
Yeah.
So you know when Ole had his press conference, and he was asked about his philosophy, right? Did everyone see when he was saying people focus too much on people being compartmentalized into a number 10, number 8, and then Ole took it back in the day.
Yep.
Yeah. Shane,
That's
you were
right.
talking about it earlier.
That's right.
I don't
Yeah.
think you went into what you thought of
That.
Ole saying that kind of thing.
Yeah. He. I think because it's all around Pogba, isn't it? And because people are, it's quite evident. Most of us are saying CDM. Centre back, we've got a centre back. Right wing, we've got a right winger. Even though he's not going to play there much anymore because we signed Ronaldo. Anyway, but so it's going to be the case of okay, he's saying Pogba can just play. That's what he's trying to. That's what I believe Ollie's alluding to. Matic can just play. Fred can just play. McTominay can just play. They're not. We don't have to put a cap on them and say that's their position. That's what they have to do. But then at the same time, you're going to need a bit of discipline and balance, as we've all said. So
it's not working. We've seen
Fred,
right?
No, that's right.
Fred to break the lines.
No,
you can't
do it. You can't do it.
Make plays. So,
can't pass. Fred can't pass. He's not good at headering. He's not good at tackling. He's not good at pass. He's not quick. He's not strong. He's, what does the guy do? Anyway, don't get me Fred bashing. Don't get me Fred bashing, please.
Well, with those characteristics, well worth 50 million, weren't it? Do you know what I mean?
There you go.
Oh, wow.
Stop it. Listen. You started me off on the Fred bashing. Listen, Griffo, what's your take on Fred? We're here now. Griffo, what's your take on Fred? You started me off now. You have. What's your take on Fred?
I think he's the best midfielder we've ever had.
No, and that was the last time we were supposed to hear that.
I'm joking.
I'm going.
That's not enough. End of stream.
I don't think you can have an opinion that's not that he is not terrible, but he's not United quality at all.
Yeah.
I think at best
That's
he's
fair.
a squad player, but not first team for me.
I will say a little story here. I think it's against Barcelona at home. When Rashford, like a couple of years ago, Rashford lined up a free kick and he put it wide. Right, Fred was over the free kick as well, and I heard two lads like scream behind me, going, "No, Fred, no!"
Fred's always there.
He is, and he's not going to go away. That's the problem.
And I looked behind me and I started creasing, so I'm laughing, and then Rashford ended up putting it like 50 miles wide. I was like, to be honest, lads, anything could have happened there. But
Well, do you know? Oh my gosh, I don't know.
We have Ronaldo and Fernandes standing over the free kick, and then Fred was there. I'm like, we've got Ronaldo and Fernandes, and why is Fred anywhere near this ball?
Well, this is where I say this is where Ollie needs to kind of take charge and say, look, this is what it is, this is what it needs to be, and that's it. No, he's not, and I feel like he's just going to let the reins be pulled by whoever's on at the time. But it's it's neither here nor there, I suppose. But
I'm sorry, Shane, but I gotta say that's a bit of a deal breaker for me, because how can we keep doing this thing where we're allowing players to try and do what they can't do? It's not going to work long term.
No, it's not. But
this is what I held out for. I thought I was going to try and learn some tactics.
Well, I'd seen someone that saying in the comments earlier, get Brendan Rodgers in. I mean, everyone. It's a name in the hat. I mean, would he do a better job than Ollie? Well, he's proven to be a decent enough tactician. I don't know, but that's a name. That's a name in the hat. So
but Brendan's got some of the thing is, people comment about how when it comes to the crunch, Ollie doesn't have the sort of game management or sort of the minerals to get things over the line. We've literally seen the past 2 seasons Leicester have not managed to get over the line with the Champions League spots when they've been in the comfortable comfortable position all season.
Yeah.
And people were like, people were sort of like defending it, saying, Leicester did well and stuff like that. Yeah, but it's like, if you're in that position the whole season and you falter, you shouldn't really get praised for it.
How about injuries though, Nathan? Keep that in mind for
but
at least one.
It's
other teams have injuries though. It's more like sort of you get to the gritty stages of the season and you sort of meant to see it. It's like when United qualified for the Champions League under Solskjaer in his first full season, United should be nowhere near it, realistically speaking. Obviously, United did have that run. So like Liverpool last season should have, even Klopp said that like they should be nowhere near the top four. You know, really sort of put it. I know they won the FA Cup, but I think like maybe for a team in their standing, they sort of see the FA Cup as more important, sort of establishing their history. Whereas like a team like United,
you could say they've overperformed then.
Champions League. Huh?
You could say they overperformed winning the cup. Like who thought Leicester would win that against Chelsea as well? You know, and they're European champions.
Yeah, for them they're already in the top four. For them it's like, but we're in the Europe. They weren't European champions when the FA Cup happened. They still had the final to play against City. They were looking for.
But they're still the better team, really. Anyway.
Well, it comes down to being relative, doesn't it? Really, at the end of the day, in terms of who's the better team. I'm just saying.
Yeah. On paper, though, it was Chelsea.
On paper.
I gotta say it, really.
You're not gonna let it go any higher. You're not gonna let it go. But guys, listen, I'm gonna have to bring it to a close because I'm not gonna be able to see myself on my camera at the minute. I'm gonna have to buy another light because I did break it. But it's been an absolute pleasure from yourself, Nate, Griffo, who I'm just gonna say hashtag sitting on the fence, Shane, Eddie as well. No, honestly, I'm hopeful for the West Ham game. I'm also expectant as long as we start right. But guys, it's been an absolute pleasure, and for everyone joining us in the comments, I'm just going to go through some of the names: Aaron, Gungshi, Kay Slater, Jonathan, Kayam, Relentless, Not My Name, OP Dragon, The Vortinator, Ellen, who else we got? Batman Nifton. There's just loads. Aaron, absolutely. We Illy United, all the regulars as well. Arsenal fan forever in there as well. I didn't quite see him earlier, but thanks for joining us as well.
In disguise.
Big Bob, Big God Bob. Okay, I didn't see that either. He put the score down as 4-2 as well. But guys, thank you very much for joining us as well. Piggy is going to be back, live as well at 9 and I believe 11. So make sure you join in then, and make sure you liking and sharing this stream as well with all other United fans and other fans as well to convert them to the light, obviously. But it's been a pleasure. Thank you very much, guys, for joining us, and we shall see you next time. Thanks a lot, guys. Take care.
Cheers, guys.
See you later.